Once again, it's time for the Team Lift podcast with your hosts, Brandon Bowie and Roderick McDaniel. Let's go ahead and get right into the show. All right, man. What's up, Brandon? How you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm great. And we got a special guest in the studio with us today, man, back for a second time. We got Reid Griffin hanging out with us.
What's up?
How you doing, bro?
Doing all right.
All right, man.
Sorry, I'm still stuck on Instagram. Sorry.
Get your Instagram on, man. I'm going to start the show with the story that you've been wanting me to tell for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how to preface this story. I'm just going to tell you, here's how it goes. I had the most racist experience with Pokemon. And it was so racist. It was innocent racism on my part. I did not know what I had said until I had made a room of white guys uncomfortable to speak. Okay? And I was playing Pokemon. So, it came out the week before Thanksgiving. Okay, so I got it that Friday. Been grinding in it, loving it, spending a lot of hours playing Pokemon, trying to catch them all. And my buddy, Matt Bontempi, bought Pokemon Moon while I bought Pokemon Sun. Okay, so he's been playing the game, and somehow this motherfucker's been playing and forgot to save. And his DS died, and he lost his whole game. All his shit's gone. And so I was like, well, bro, that's kind of weird that you lost every damn thing. So I found some rare Pokemon called Cottonees, which are cotton balls that appear in fields. And I found some rare ones, and I was like, man, I'm going to get a couple, and I'm going to give this fool a male and a female, and then he can go breed them in the game, and he can, get some more, Innocent. So then I go back to work the next day, and I say, hey, man, look, I know your game crashed, and I understand, but it's no big deal. I was up to 2 o'clock this morning, grinding in a field, picking Cottonees, and I'm going to go ahead and hook you up with some. And this fool went from smiling, it got serious. Like, his face just immediately lost all the smile, and he got serious, and he did this. I don't know what your angle is, Coach, but I'm not going to bite. I don't want to go to HR the day before Thanksgiving. This is how he replied. And I'm like, that's a weird-ass reply for a brother that stayed up to 2 o'clock in the morning picking you Cottonees. And so I was like, bro, what are you talking about? He went, I just want you to think about what you just said to me, man. No, I'm not playing along. And so I was like, what? So then I was like, hold on, let me think about what I said. And then it hit me. My little black Pokemon trainer was in some high-ass cotton field for hours picking motherfucking cotton that the Pokemon developers gave a cute name and eyes to, and I just glossed over the racism of what I did for hours. This was cotton picking simulator I just played, man. Bruh. The only thing missing was a mansion and a white dude with a whip. I sat in this field of my own choice for hours picking Cottonee.
Man, how do you spell that? Because every time I put it in here,
put in the word cotton and then put double E on the end of it, Cottonee. It was really what it is. It is a Pokemon that's a grass type, and this fool is a cotton ball with eyes. I've actually had to Google it so many times this week that people started, because everybody started thinking I was lying. They really thought I was lying. That's it. There it is. That's Cottonee. I picked up a bunch of Cottonee. Now, here's what Cottonee turns into when it evolves. A little black guy with an afro that's white.
Oh, I like his goatee he got going on.
He does have a cotton goatee.
Whimsicott?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what happens, man. And, man... Bro.
Sadly, I was not there for the story, but during the first retelling, I just lost my shit for for 2 hours. I just couldn't stop laughing.
Man, look, Matt would not talk to me for a while. He was so scared I was setting him up for some shit with HR, like that was an HR sting. We're going to get this white boy. He was scared.
I don't blame him, man.
But then he came to my desk. He said, hey, man, did you pick Cottonees last night? The next day, and Matthew Wright overheard him. And you know how conservative Matthew Wright is. And Matthew Wright was like, what the fuck are y'all talking about over here? so then my boss hears that, Tommy. He goes, "What's going on over there?" He said, "I don't know. They're talking about picking Cottonees. What is this?" I was like, just white people are getting scared by me playing Pokemon Sun, bro.
Maybe there's a reason you haven't played this game.
Man, this is my first time I've ever played this game.
You picked the perfect time to play.
I play the one where Cottonee's a creature and people are losing their shit because I'm in the field picking Cottonees. But, man, look, I have never seen a game scare so many white people. This is my new game of the year. Pokemon Sun has got my vote for game of the year. I play it, and then white people come up to me and ask me, "What are you playing?" And I say, "I'm playing Pokemon." "Well, what are you catching?" "Catching some Cottonees. I'm in this field picking Cottonees." And they walk away. And I have to explain none of my actions to anybody. It's like shocking. It's like a fucking get out of jail card with white people. I just say it and they walk away. They don't even ask me what I'm doing. I could be there butt naked in the middle of a mall. I tell you I'm picking Cottonees in Pokemon Sun, and all white people are going, "He has a right to do that. I'm walking away." Go Trump. And they just walk away from me. I have fucked up more people playing Pokemon Sun in 1 week than I ever have in my whole life, man. And I wasn't even trying to be racist. I didn't think shit about it.
You need to make this a shirt.
I'm picking Cottonee?
Yes.
Oh, man.
You need to make it a shirt.
Yeah, man. People would freak smooth the hell out. They would not talk to me for months on end, man. But I'll tell you, this one game, I've never seen so many white people run away from me when I... Innocently. I was like, I'm surprised I didn't go to HR for Thanksgiving. I really am, because I have never seen so many white people scared of me for a week. And I was sitting there just playing Pokemon, bro. I ain't bothering no damn body.
I didn't know what I was getting into when you told me this at first. Like, "Bro, do I have a story for you?" I'm like, "Oh, Lord."
Yeah.
I had no idea. I was like, let me guess. It goes around Jinx. He's like, "Oh, no." I was like, how worse can this get? I don't understand. And then he proved me wrong.
And then you find out he was picking Cottonee in the field.
Yeah, I found out he's picking Cottonee.
Yeah. Jinx is not the most racist character in there. I am. I didn't even know I was the most racist character in Pokemon until the other day. But I just started scaring white people playing damn Pokemon Sun. I'll probably never play another Pokemon game again, but I'm making this one count. I'm making Pokemon great again. Okay. All right. Yeah, man, I don't know what happened, man. It was just a stupid ass game. I don't know why I did that, man. But I am loving it, man. I get why people love this game, though. I totally 100% get why people play for hours on end in this game.
I don't.
I do, man. Okay, first of all, we know I love JRPGs, right?
Yeah.
And so that's all this is. It's one giant ass JRPG of you going around beating up sons of bitches and then
Cottonee.
putting them in subjugation. I mean, that's really what you do. You beat up a Pokemon to where he can't fight back, and then you lock him and imprison him in a little Pokeball and make him do your bidding while picking Cottonee. Bruh, I've never realized how awesome this game was.
Why don't you just play
It's
RuneScape?
it's a Michael Vick simulator. A Michael Vick simulator.
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
Oh, God. Oh, man. We just lost 20 listeners right there.
I think you just lost somebody that was actually going to talk.
Yeah. Man, we've been doing some dumb shit on this show, but that may be the worst one.
As if it's not heightened enough in the country, you had to bring that up.
Yeah, no, man, I'm serious. That's how we do on Team Lift. We figure out what America's tense about race relations. Let's talk about Roderick playing Pokemon Sun, because we're not sensitive to these issues. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, that shit put me through some stuff, man. I had no idea it was even a racist ass game, man. But I did love every minute of it. Man, we got a lot of stuff that we have missed lately. Mm-hmm. There was something we were going to talk about almost, was it a week ago, 2 weeks ago, last time we met? You and I had this discussion, but we didn't bring it on the show. It was about something called Young Justice getting a season 3.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I don't know about you guys. Young Justice right now is on Netflix. And if you didn't want, let's just say this. This was the greatest cartoon series not called Justice League ever. It was just amazing. Young Justice had like serious line. It had serious storylines. It had great villains. It was season 1 and 2 are on Netflix, and it was just like, man, unresolved love, unrequited love. I mean, it was just great. And then they just ended it because Cartoon Network's a bunch of fucking idiots. And now they're bringing it back. They are bringing it back. So I'm kind of hyped for that, man. Have you heard anything on it other than that they released the poster and that it's going straight to Netflix?
No, I haven't heard anything else.
All right. So that's all we know right now is that it is coming and it will be going straight to Netflix. And that Warner Brothers is doing it. So Warner Brothers Animation is doing this whole thing. They're going to finally get a 3rd season out of it. I am geeked beyond words, but I can't find any other information other than that. So that's all I know. All right, but we will be keeping everybody posted on this one. Have you ever watched Young Justice, bro?
No.
Never?
I don't really watch TV.
I forget, man.
I play video games. That's it.
Yeah.
I play video game 1.
You play one video game. You play Battlefield 1.
That's it.
And there was something that you were mad at me about in Battlefield 1.
That you suck as a medic?
Bruh. I was in a...
I mean, you do get a lot of
There's some
suppression
fucking
kills.
salt there. He's fucking
Dude,
angry.
it is. There's a
He's
lot
so
of salt there.
Okay, let me ask you this. How long ago did this accident happen with us?
Like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
And you're still this level of
Yeah,
salt 3
well-
weeks later?
I mean, when you figured out that, I can press the directional pad and pull out a syringe. Oh, wait, I'm a sniper. I can't do that. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. I hate seeing medic is this close to you, and then it like progressively gets closer. You're like, yes, finally, someone's actually going to medic me in the game, and then they run right by you.
Bro.
Or in your case, you just lay right next to me and give my dead body cover fire. I like it.
Here's the thing. I racked up a suppression kill bonus that you would not believe. He was really 4 meters away from me. I didn't even realize they had killed him. I was just laying down. All I was watching my screen save is suppression assist kill, suppression assist kill. And I'm trying to get that medal for it. I'm just sitting there laying down suppression fire. Not even thinking about my boy over here is dying next to me. He doesn't have a headset on. Can't tell me shit. And then all of a sudden while I'm playing, my phone goes off.
See, this is all his fault. He could have just had a headset.
My phone goes
I didn't know
off.
any headset would work. So I was like, I got to go buy one.
Yeah, my phone goes off. And when my phone goes off, you suck as a medic!
What's even worse is I started sending him Battlefield memes of being a medic. Like, there's one with Oprah's face on it. And like, you get a heal, and you get a heal, and you get a heal. I was like, that's not you.
He was salty as fuck, dude. And I didn't even know he had died next to me. All I was trying to do was be in my world. I wasn't really thinking about the team at that point. Mm-hmm. I was working on some things I had to get. Basically, rank 1 as a medic and suppression assist kills. Wasn't thinking about, hey, you know what? I probably really do need to heal some of my squad mates.
No, that's not why you became a medic.
That was not why. I wanted to just be part of an HMO and make a lot of money. That was why I played as a medic. But dude, he was so salty. I was like, okay, I actually really do need to pay attention to what we're doing in the game, man. All right, then the other thing. Is there anything else that you've noticed about me since I played as a medic that you're still salty about?
You finally picked a good gun, so that kind of works. I'm glad you figured out the directional pad. That helps.
This is the shit I deal with, bro.
No, he texted me like I was in bed the other night, and he's like, "Hey man, how do I pull out my grenades?" I'm like,
I did not know how to launch
Really?
a fucking grenade in this game, dude.
"Really? Like, what have you been doing this whole time? Just aim, run, and shoot?" Like,
Dude,
you're like,
he
"Oh,
was
I
trying to
forgot
get-
about this needle, and I forgot about these rifle grenades, and oh, I have a heal pad. I could use that."
Bro, I didn't use any of that shit. I had unlocked shit and just been like kicking ass. And he's like, how the fuck are you leveling up just killing people? I was like, I don't know. Just level it up. Just run it through. Doing objectives. Taking flags. Shooting people. Take next flag. Shoot people. Defend flag. I've done so much better now that I actually play the class now. But I was one of those, I played it like it was Call of Duty. That's what I did. Like, I've played Battlefield 4, and I did really good in Battlefield 4, and I got used to playing Battlefield 4, and then I got rid of Battlefield 4, and I quit playing it. Like, I hadn't played I played Hardline for all of 2 weeks.
Yeah, just like everybody else.
I think we were in it for 2 weeks, and then we were like, yeah, that was 2 fun weeks. This shit has got to go.
That's what happened with me in the original Titanfall. It was just like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then I was just like, okay, I've experienced everything in this game. I'm done.
Yeah, bro, you can only play so. Because here's my thing with Titanfall, the first one, you go in progressions. Wow, I got a mech. Then wow, I can run on walls. And then that last week where I wonder if I could play a whole match where I just kick a motherfucker in the chest. I'm not even going to use this gun. I'm just going to kick motherfuckers in the chest for a whole match. And once you do that, once you hit that point, your last week with Titanfall has begun. Because you're done. You're done. And that was really me with Titanfall on PC. I kicked people in the chest for a week. And after that, I was like, that was a really great 2 weeks with this game. Bye. And it pretty much still on my PC. I just don't play it.
Yeah, since I blew away my installation of Windows like last week and reinstalled everything, I haven't reinstalled Titanfall 2.
You were really deep into Titanfall 2, though, right?
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
You got to save, though, in the cloud, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I'd finished the single player. I started playing multiplayer, but yeah, it's just, it's dead already. I'm done.
Already?
Yeah. I went back to Overwatch just because it's actually good.
I'm done with you.
That look was priceless.
I'm done with you. I don't even know what to say. There was a thing.
Titanfall 2 is bad. It's just like I don't know. After
you seem like you liked the single player more than you liked the multiplayer.
Yeah. The single player was a lot better.
You get hyped about a lot of single player events, but you really were hyped about that single player.
Yeah, it was really good. Like it starts out kind of generic and then it gets weird, which is what's nice about it.
And then you kept telling me, man, this whole level does this. And I was like, man, this guy's really having a blast with Titanfall 2 single player.
There's a whole fucking level in the game that's basically just singularity, where you have a thing that's on your hand and you can use it to switch between two different time periods. Like before the facility blew up and then after the facility blew up, the timeline that you're actually in. And so in order to get through a lot of the facility, you jump back in time. And there's no obstruction in front of you, and you can go through, and then you jump back to the future, and you keep going in the future until you get to where you're supposed to go. You just keep jumping back and forth. It's a really neat mechanic. It's only like one level in the fucking game, but it's a really neat mechanic. And then they have really, really good villains. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're not exactly like fleshed out or anything like that, but they all have their own Titan, and their Titans have their own unique weapon systems and their own unique movement styles and things like that. There's one Titan that you fight that just flies. Like that's all it does is just flies and shoots rockets at you.
What?
It's almost like Mega Man sometimes. Like each, you know how like there's like Guts Man and Cut Man and fucking all the other different. They have that, but they're just mechs.
I may have to fuck with that, man.
Yeah,
I still haven't got my free copy, so I'm just like I hadn't decided what I wanted to play it on.
It's like $20 on sale right now, at least until the 29th.
Where?
On Origin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got it on sale.
Part 2?
Yeah, it's like 50% off or something like that.
Oh, why did you tell me that?
The game did not sell well, unfortunately.
Why are you telling me this, man?
Cyber Monday.
I feel it coming. Okay.
Hey, speaking of, my Walmart pickup order is ready finally.
Okay.
Well, that's supposed to be like 8 o'clock.
You can't just say that without telling people why you're saying that.
I found a deal last night for 128 gigabit micro SDHC card for like your phone or something. I'm gonna stick it in my NVIDIA Shield in there, so I have a little bit of extra space. It was like $23, but you have to do in-store pickup. So I put in the order at 3 a.m, and they're like, "We'll send you an email whenever it's done, whenever it's ready to pick up." So I get up this morning at like noon, cracking noon.
Mm-hmm.
Figure, it's got to be done by now. Check my email. No, it's not done.
Nothing by noon.
So I log into the website, and the website says, your order should be ready by 8 a.m.
Now, you put it in at 3 a.m., should have been ready by 8. You were up at 12 and still no email.
It is now 1:32 p.m., and I finally got a text message from them that says, your order is ready for pickup.
All right, bro, let's face it. This is the Sunday after Black Friday. Okay,
no, I did this before. I was like, I'm going to buy an Xbox 360 controller. This was a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
do the same exact thing. Order it, set it for pickup over there. Yeah, when I went, it had been like almost 8 hours and they still hadn't texted me back. So I just went over to Walmart. I was like, can I just go get the controller and bring it up here? And they were like, we're out of stock. We're waiting for the reason why we haven't, sent you the text message because it won't be here for the next 3 days. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You couldn't like drop me a line that says, hey, we're out of stock at this location so you can go pick it up somewhere else? No, it's fucking Walmart.
Bro, are we talking about the Walmart at 35 and 183? Right,
Yeah.
like across
the one that's
highway
across
from
the
you?
highway. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to that one. What
It's
I've never
the
been to
worst.
it. I go to the GameStop over there, and I've used that gas station at Murphy's there.
Yeah.
I've never actually gone into that Walmart.
It's the worst Walmart. So remember when they had them big old storms that happened? And
Oh
like,
my God! Like the tornadoes that hit 35, or they
Yeah.
said it wasn't a tornado, but it tore the roof off a building.
Yeah. So that Walmart got hit by that, and so a couple months later, like right after the first of the year, they stopped being a 24-hour Walmart and started being only open until midnight because they were having to do all, I guess, renovations or whatever that they were having to do to fix it. And they've just recently become a 24-hour again. Like they didn't tell anybody. They were just like, oh, we're 24 hours now again. But it was fucked up because the first night that they were not a 24-hour Walmart, I showed up. I got out of my car. I go to walk in, and I'm like, why the fuck are all these goddamn Walmart people standing out here? I start walking up the door, and they're like, we're closed. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, we changed our hours. I was like, are you serious? What the fuck is going on here? I need to go get some fucking pizza rolls. And you motherfuckers aren't open?
Priorities. I like it.
Oh my God! You were really up at midnight going for pizza rolls?
Yeah.
We got other issues we need to talk about other than this Walmart not being open.
It's the most inconvenient Walmart. Like, it's right across the street, but every time I go in it, I never want to be there. And they never have any fucking lines open. Like, it's just like any other Walmart, except for some reason, there's only 2 registers that are open at any given time, even though there's 24 fucking checkout lanes and a lane where there's 5 self-checkouts. They don't even keep the self-checkouts open. Just keep 5 self-checkouts open.
Let me tell you something. Black Friday night, after work, I went to the Walmart out on 620. Okay?
Yep.
Man, anybody that lives in Austin, they know what I'm talking about. But the one near 620 and 183.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm out there, and here's the thing. I don't know what's wrong with my brain, but somebody had just sent me a story 15 minutes earlier that said, mysterious packages found at Walmart on 183 and at 620.
I gotta check this out.
And police are there, bomb squads were there. They didn't know what these packages were. You'd think that would deter me.
No.
I drove over there, and as I'm getting close to the parking lot, I'm talking to Kim on the phone, and all of a sudden, as I'm pulling into the parking lot, I go, hey, I think this is the Walmart where they had the mysterious package in the parking lot. And she's going, what is wrong with you? I didn't think about that right now. I just thought about it as I was pulling up. If I see a bunch of weird cars in this parking lot or a bomb dog or something, I'll turn around. But I drove all the way into the parking lot first, just to see if I would see anything. And when I didn't see anything, I said, it looks clear. I'm going in. And they were that way. So this is like 11 o'clock at night. Sweet baby Shane shows up in Walmart. We're both walking around the store damn near midnight looking for shit we don't need, basically. I think I picked up one thing I needed. And the rest of it was like, I don't even need this shit. I'm just buying it because it's here. I want Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on DVD. So it was that kind of a thing. And so I'm just walking through the store, and it was just like, there's a line at 11:30 at night. I'm in a line. Like, I'm in a line for a while. And I'm like, why are none of the self-checkouts open, and there's only 2 lanes open?
Because it's fucking Walmart.
Dude, yeah, you've been
Because
to that
fuck you.
Walmart on Georgia in Amarillo. It's the same exact way.
Bro, okay, now the Walmart in Georgia, the Walmart in Amarillo that's on Georgia, that's the same one where they had the shootout with the guy where he took the store hostage.
Yeah, that's like right down the street from where I used to live, and then
I remember that.
And then 2 weeks later, then they had a bomb threat, and then when I moved to Abilene, I saw something else happen down there. I guess somebody shot himself by accident. That's what it was. The guy was carrying. I guess his gun moved, and he accidentally shot himself
At the Walmart?
at the same Walmart.
Man, bruh, When I go back to
These are
Amarillo, I'm
just
going to that one.
reasons to never go to Walmart.
No, this Walmart
honestly,
is off the chain.
this
It's like a
is-
good nightclub. There's always some shit going on.
Oh
at
yeah,
this
dude.
Walmart.
No, this is how bad it is. Like I've had to needed to get groceries. That's the first thing on my reminder list. Look at the date that was 11/5. I have still yet to go get groceries.
What was it?
I told myself I need to go get groceries on the 5th.
Yeah.
And it is now what, the 20 whatever date today is?
Yeah,
can't get my
bruh, some time has passed and you still haven't gone to get groceries?
Yeah, it's the 27th. So it's almost been a month and I'm out of ramen noodles and peanuts. So I'm kind of
Whatever will you do?
if I don't stop at McDonald's or something on the way home, I starve till the next morning. Dead serious. And then I'll stop at like gas station and be like, "Ooh, I need that Pop-Tart."
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I know how that is.
That straight up derailed everything. Look what you did.
Bro, you got me messed up on this whole story. Speaking of being messed up on a story, this bitch over here, Brandon, jacked up my whole world with a crazy console story. Now, remember we were talking about this. PS4 Pros
Oh yeah.
running some games slower than the normal PS4 system that I own.
Yeah.
And now here's the thing. The PS4 Pro, is supposed to be the system that they upgraded. It's supposed to be their 4K system, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now,
4K.
yeah, 4K.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
here's the thing. Everybody was like, hey, are you going to upgrade your system? And I'm a guy who refuses to upgrade. Okay, for the most part, I look at what the specs are. I don't have a 4K TV. It doesn't play 4K Blu-rays, which I thought was an idiotic move.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
It's a 4K system.
It's a 4K system that does not play 4K Blu-rays.
And it's being made by the company who
Who
made
owns
Blu-ray.
4K?
No,
Like,
they own Blu-ray.
well, they
made
own Blu-ray,
the
and they
standard.
make the 4K Blu-ray players, but you didn't put one in your fucking gaming system?
Wait, don't they make a TV that's 4K too? I mean,
They
what's
do
this-
make a TV that's a 4K. Sony, okay, here's my thing. I'm just going to say it. As a guy who buys a lot of Sony products, this is the most idiotic fucking system I had ever heard of. Now, I'm just going to be honest. Now, I have issues with both consoles. I love them. I own them all. I have a 2DS. I have a Vita. Have a PS4. Have an Xbox One. I own all of this shit. But I have issues with this PS4 Pro. And I was just like, that's not worth $100 to upgrade. And then it comes out, and Brandon, who hates all things console, has a hard on when he sends me this story about the PS4 Pro, the better system, supposedly, running its own fucking game slower with frame rate drops. And one of the games that is frame rate dropping is The Last of Us Remastered. Its own fucking product. Like, and we're not talking like easy, these aren't like, oh, you barely notice it. Noticeable frame rate drops. And I just don't get this whole thing, man. Like, why did they even release the system?
I know why it's happening. I know why they released the system with the specs that they released it. Is that they wanted to have better specs to better support PSVR.
Okay, true. I heard
And
that.
that's realistically the only reason why they released this console right now is because they wanted to have something that was compatible and had high enough frame rates so that because realistically when you're doing VR, if you dip below 90 frames a second, it just makes people sick. I mean, I've experienced it on my Vive with badly coded games, like just all kinds of weirdness. I don't get stomach sick.
Right.
But it definitely does does not play well with your head.
Well, we did. You were running, what was it, the 990, right? Before you did the jump? Mm-hmm. And what are you on now, 1080? Mm-hmm. So on the 990, we played.
It was a 980.
You had a 980. What was the game where I was up in space, in the ship and flying around?
Oh, Elite Dangerous?
Okay, I played that one, and I kind of came out and I told you, hey, it takes a while for my eyes to get used to the world again. And I had what we would call VR high.
VR legs?
Yeah, I had my little VR legs. I was a little, whoa. And I drove home 26 miles from downtown Austin all the way back to Round Rock. VR high as fuck and loved that ride. It was amazing. Had a blast doing it. But I was just like, okay, that was great. It still was a fun experience. We went to that 1080. And there was no such thing. Like, you don't think there's going to be that big of a remarkable difference. I mean, he had a great graphics card. A 980 is not a bad graphics card. it was a noticeable difference in our VR experiences.
Yeah.
Because you do not get the legs coming out of a tent.
Speaking of which, one of you two is going to play Doom 3 VR before you leave.
Oh fuck, I'm gonna piss myself.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Dude,
awesome.
Doom 95 still scares me. I mean, let's be realistic here. I grew up watching my dad play that game and like used to have nightmares. And I was like, you know what? I'm older now. I can play this. Hop on there, start playing. Oh no, there's
That
the
pinky
skeleton
sound in the background.
Well, the skeleton popped up out of the middle of like this long corridor, and I screamed and threw my mouse. It scared me. I can't even play like Aliens. What was it? Aliens versus Predator, I guess. Whatever it was one of the Aliens games. That movie used to scare me as a kid. So I was like, oh yeah, I like this series. I'll play the game. Nope.
You can the new game Alien Isolation.
They got a VR now.
They actually they developed VR for it, but they never released it. But the code is still in the game, and you can activate it, and you can play it in VR.
Nah,
the whole game is basically you just running and hiding from aliens, trying to get the hell out of this place.
That's essentially what I do watching the movie.
Yeah, man.
I can't handle it, man. It's too, I don't know why, but it freaks me out.
I'm not okay. I think we're safe enough to say it. We've been working on a video companion to our podcast, and we are going to be doing a Team Lift Roderick Plays Scary Games in VR series, and that is one of the games we've been talking about doing in VR for the show. You also want me to do Doom. I know you said we're going to do that for the show.
Yeah,
for our Twitch channel. So those are coming up for the Christmas season. That will be my gift to our followers. A black man screaming like a little girl at R. Kelly's house for the weekend. That's going to be pretty much what's going to happen.
So that's your gift to the fans, and what's the gift to yourself? Inside out butthole? I mean,
new drawers. Going to be new underwear. Maybe stocking depends. I'm not sure, but I'm going to have to. I'm going to commit to something.
At least I know what to get you for Christmas.
Yeah, a bag of Depends will probably be what we do before I start this. And I'm just look, man. I love horror movies, but I'm the guy who kind of. I'm a big black man, so I don't scream out loud in the theater, but I do kind of scrunch down in my seat and pull my shirt up over my lips like this and just kind of go, oh, this is about to go bad. I'm that guy. And then after they kill him, I go, okay. Look cool, look normal. Yeah. And then I kind of come out of that scrunched up. One time we went to go watch a movie, and I apologized to the people behind me. I just apologized straight out. I said, look, I just want to apologize if I do something that's ill behavior before this movie gets started. I don't want to be racist, but I might do some black guy stuff in this movie. And the people behind me started rolling, and the lady was like, it's cool. I won't even notice because I'll probably be screaming too. I went, I appreciate that.
What was it, Hannah Montana or something?
I think it was...
Don't Breathe?
It could have been Don't Breathe, or it could have been Lights Out. One of them, I knew I was about to act a damn fool. I knew one of them was going to go horribly wrong. I went and watched The Conjuring Part 2 by myself.
No, sir.
And I'm not going to lie. In The Conjuring 2, there's a scene, and when it happened, I went, oh, shit. But I didn't say it out. I didn't think I said it out loud, but there was a woman on the, like, across the aisle and 2 rows up, and I heard her whisper clearly, was that him? And I was like, damn it. I didn't know I said it that loud enough for her to ask the man with her, was that him?
Dude, that's why me and you get along. I can't do scary movies. I have a friend that used to make me watch scary movies with her, and
Dude, I love... Okay, here's my
She's sitting there laughing at me the whole time, and I can't handle it. I can't do it.
I love them. I love watching horror movies. I don't mind. I will pay money to go see a good horror movie. But I tend to watch way too many movies that were based on real, like, demonic possessions.
That's my downfall. Those ones that I physically cannot watch those. I will... Can't do it.
Here's what I've noticed.
Do it.
I have a lot of friends that come from Christian backgrounds, and they tend not to watch movies based on demon possession. They tend to go, look, that shit can happen, and I'm not going to play with it. And they're just like, and here's the thing. The Catholic Church has a lot of documented cases about possession, and those movies tend to do really well when they're based on true stories. Mm-hmm. All The Conjuring is based on the Warrens, okay? And the Warrens were famous for the Amityville Horror.
Yeah.
And they did a couple, well-known documented paranormal activity cases, and they started making the Conjuring movies based on their cases. I love their movies. If they make a Conjuring 3, I'm going to watch it. But I tend to not should watch those by myself in the theater because sometimes a black man gets vocal. and it just happens. Like, I don't mind watching it at home by myself, but I don't do well at dark watching it by myself. I'd like, if I watch a horror movie at home, like, I don't care if the house is full of people, I can watch the movie and be cool. I know there are other people there. But if I'm home by myself and the whole house is dark and I turn a horror movie on, bro, I can't go to the bathroom at 2 o'clock in the morning because then I hear every freaking creak in that house.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Every
sleeping
creak.
with the lights on, man.
Bro, Brandon over there is like, not me. I'll watch this shit and go straight to sleep, have dreams of Disney.
See, I can handle the gore. It's just all the other. No, I just.
Man, my kid, she used to watch, like, if we went to a horror movie when she was a teen, if I took her to a horror movie, she'd beg me to take her. Then she'd have to come home and sleep in the living room watching Netflix cartoons. Like, she would watch, like, queuing up Pocahontas and Jack and the Beast. What are you doing? Purifying my mind before I go to sleep. She would sleep on the sofa watching Disney cartoons. I don't know how many times she fell asleep watching Finding Nemo to get right to go to bed. And I'd be like, why did I take you to see this movie knowing that you're going to have to watch 4 hours worth of Disney cartoons to go to bed? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with me as a father? but that was what we did, man. That was our thing. So she, to this day, I think is still that way. She just, hey, she won't do it. Now, I don't know if we talked about this last time.
What?
But last time we were on the show, we were talking about the Inhumans with Marvel.
Yeah.
And we wondered why it came off of the movie schedule.
Yeah, it just disappeared.
And it just like they never explained it. And for you, I don't know if you watch Reid. There's a show, the Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yeah. I was watching part of that a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm really confused with what's going on because I'm like somewhere in the middle. So I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, there's some weird stuff on that show, but it does deal with the Inhumans, who were more like people who had powers like mutants, but they got their powers from this thing called the Terrigen Mist.
Yes.
Okay, so what we've always thought was that the humans were introduced into the Marvel universe to deal with the fact that they no longer had the rights to the mutants. That, I guess 20th Century Fox has that, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things they lost when they almost went for bankruptcy, and 20th Century Fox made millions upon millions off of the X-Men film series, and they refused to give it back to Marvel. Okay. Even though there's hope for the future that somehow they're going to get together and do movies together. So this is always our thought about the Inhumans, and there was a chance at one point when they announced their 3 schedule plan all the way to 2019, 2018 for films, the Inhumans were a film on that schedule. All right? Disappears off the schedule. They don't say shit. They don't explain it. It just disappears. They just take it off their film schedule and it's gone. Recently, the buzz is that they're bringing them back, but they're coming to TV.
So they're going to be doing a 2-hour premiere in theaters that is going to be at like IMAX.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to be a hour-long television show on ABC, just like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is after that. And I'm thinking, I want to say it's going to be like April or May of this coming year, if I remember right.
So what it's going to do, 2-hour premiere in IMAX theaters, which is pretty big. So you'll have to go watch it in IMAX. It's being actually, what we read is it's going to run for 2 weeks in IMAX digital theaters. And that it was being filmed entirely with IMAX digital cameras. The whole series is being filmed with those cameras. Mm-hmm. And so I know it's 2017 that it's coming. I don't know. We're going to have to look up dates for it. But I do know that it was a 2017 release for a 2-hour film. But it's a premiere. And then it's going to go to a TV show from there.
Yep.
After that. My only question is, as a guy who's familiar with the Inhumans from the comic books, we know there was a guy named Black Bolt who was the king of the Inhumans. We know they had a base on the moon. We know his wife, Medusa, the woman with the red hair that had a mind of its own, that she could control it and make it grow strong and pick up tanks and flip them and stuff. We know she was his queen. The Inhumans were really powerful characters in and of their own rights, okay? And they defended other Inhumans and saved them from They pretty much were like, where the X-Men are like, hey, people are attacking mutants, but we take on bigger threats. The Inhumans were like, look, if you mess with an Inhuman, we're going to whoop that ass, and we're going to come get that Inhuman from you. So they were a little bit more proactive. I don't know what, they haven't said what it's going to cover.
Nope.
So, because the Inhumans on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., while are a tad bit different than what we're expecting in the comics. You know what I mean? So I don't know where they're going to go with this. I'm actually interested to see what Marvel's going to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, since it's not technically Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's going to be part of the TV universe, and they seem to be doing everything they can to keep the two separate. I just don't know what to expect of this.
I don't know. Maybe they're gonna do the Terrigen bomb.
No, where everybody gets affected across America.
I mean, they kind of already did that when the Terrigen got released into the ocean and it got put in all the fish oil capsules and people started eating them and then started turning into Inhumans from there. But if they do the Terrigen bomb, then they could potentially make a shitload of Inhumans really quickly. I don't know.
Yeah, and here's what. Okay, wait a minute. I just Googled this. Marvel's The Inhumans will explore the never-before-told epic adventure of Black Bolt and the royal family.
Oh, so
They are really going to try to pull off this Black Bolt thing, which we may need to do an Inhumans episode, bro, just to kind of get people up to date on it. I may need to go back and get myself up to date and pull some of these classic stories again, just kind of reread some of them, because I remember the basics, and I remember there was this giant ass bulldog that they rode with it. Like when they held on to him, they could travel through dimensions and times and portals. Like their bulldog was their ship. Mm-hmm. It was a big ass bulldog that stood about 7 feet tall. Just fucking bulldog with a wishbone on its head, and they touch him, and wherever they touch him, that's where they travel to. It was some weird shit going on in the Inhumans. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm really interested to see where this is going to go now. I just want to see. Now I got questions.
So, that Ego, the Living Planet, he's a part of the Fantastic Four property, technically. And Fox owns the rights to the Fantastic Four. Mm-hmm. But Ego is going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy. Mm-hmm. So you remember how they changed the power set for Negasonic Teenage Warhead? Mm-hmm. They had to get permission to do that from Marvel. Right. The bargain was Marvel gets Ego, and they get to change Negasonic's powers. That's how they got that character. And I have a feeling that they didn't tell Fox what they were going to do with the character. They were just like, okay, well, you can do it. We just want this character back. It ain't nothing big. And then they put it in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Those sneaky fuckers.
This is interesting. Here's my thing. Marvel had almost went bankrupt. It's not a secret that the 80s, they were about done. They almost shuttered the doors. Yeah, both 90s. Of them, DC and Marvel, almost shuttered their doors. And they both have survived and done really well. Marvel, though, is printing fucking money with this cinematic universe to the point where they have Marvel Studios now. Yeah. And so they've worked their way out. Their comics started selling again. They got several major series that are doing really well. We'll be talking about that in a second. But you can see where now they have to wheel and deal to get their own properties back, because Fox is never giving up the X-Men. I'm at that point.
I think that Fox has finally gotten to the point where they realize that they can't make a movie out of those characters the way that Marvel could. And that's why in Deadpool at the very beginning, you have the big Marvel logo, because that was the start of their cooperation with Marvel in making the films.
And look at how big that was.
And we're getting Legion, and that's coming from Fox. It's going to be on Fox's network.
Yeah, the FX, I think.
And it has a Marvel logo on it. I think that the part of the reason why the Inhumans are going to go to television is because the X-Men are coming to the Marvel universe. I think they're going to get a Spider-Man like deal where Marvel makes everything and does everything and controls the character and releases the movie, and they just get a cut of the profits.
And that is the smartest thing that Sony ever did.
Yeah.
Because, when Sony's documents got leaked, one of the biggest things that we realized was that a lot of stuff that Sony financed rode on the back of two things: sales of the PlayStation 4 and the deal with Spider-Man had financed a bunch of shit that they got to do. That was really, those two big things financed a lot of what Sony was going to do. And it was like, I don't even think they thought the PS4 sales were going to be as good as they were. It was just extra. It was the deal with Marvel to let them have Spider-Man that really helped them to go, hey, you financed a lot of shit that's keeping us in the black. And now, I mean, that's cool, man. And I think a lot of companies saw that they did that, and they were like, hey, we're going to jump on board with Marvel. Because Marvel makes we've said it on the show many a time, their cinematic universe kicks a major amount of ass, and their Netflix TV universe kicks a major amount of ass.
Yeah.
As far as quality and story and all that goes.
I was just thinking about it, and Marvel has, if you include Legion, 8 shows now, because they've got 4 on Netflix, and then there's Agent Carter, which is 5, and then there's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is 6, then there's The Inhumans, which is coming out, that's 7, and then Legion is 8.
Yeah, well, we don't have Agent Carter anymore. They've canceled it.
Well, I mean, just in terms of
they
series.
did. In terms of series, they did. They had 8, and then that's not. If we think about it, when you're seeing the Netflix, so you were seeing Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage. What were you counting?
Punisher.
Well, then you got to count Iron Fist is coming,
And Iron
as
Fist
well
is
as
coming,
the
yeah.
Defenders.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Shit, there's going to be 6 on Netflix alone.
Yeah. There's also talk that Disney might buy Netflix.
Oh yay,
Bro, can Disney stop?
I know. They just want to buy all the things that make all the money. That's what it is. That's
all
all Disney's
that
been
my
about.
money is in. Like, here's my thing.
They bought Pixar. They bought fucking
They bought
Marvel.
ESPN.
They bought ESPN. They're not doing so good on ESPN though. They need to.
George Lucas and his stuff.
Yeah, they bought Star Wars.
They bought Star Wars from under him.
It's just like they've got enough money where they can just buy these things, and then once they buy them, they just.
And they own
Fucking-
Marvel. Let's face it. They technically Marvel is a Disney affiliate.
Yeah.
It is, man. I mean, come on.
Disney bought Marvel to keep Marvel from going under.
And they have done very well from that deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, man. Okay.
At some point, Thor is gonna have to like punch Darth Vader in the face in a movie. It's gonna happen. Putting it down right now.
You heard it here
We're
first.
We're gonna come back to this in like 20 years.
I'm done with you.
Star Destroyer is gonna show up at Earth, and fucking Thor's just gonna fly up there and be like, "Bitch, get the fuck out of here."
Let's go happen. Okay. All right, man. Dude, there's some craziness. Our friends at Ubisoft, our dear, dear friends at Ubisoft, had an executive get busted for 5 Ubisoft executives accused of selling stock based on inside knowledge.
Insider trading.
Yes.
Hooray!
And AMF, which is the Autorité des Marchés Financiers, which is France's stock market regulators, alleges that Ubisoft Montreal CEO Yannis Mallat and 4 other Ubisoft executives all sold stock in the weeks before October 15, 2013, when the publisher announced that Watch Dogs and the Crew would be delayed to 2014. As a result of the delay, the value of Ubisoft stock dropped by around 25%.
Golly.
All right. Now, they said that Mallet and the other executives knew about the delay when selling their stock, violating French laws of insider trading.
Good job, guys. As if I didn't fucking have more reasons to fucking hate Ubisoft.
You really hate this company.
They're terrible.
Do you hate everything?
Yeah, pretty much.
I've started to notice that.
He
I was
doesn't-
like, yeah, Brendan don't like that. Yeah, you don't like that either. Yeah, he really dislikes that. I'm like,
He does hate a lot.
what do you like other than PC?
His girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 2.
His cat.
So that's
No,
3.
sometimes not. Even.
Okay, so that's it's like 2.5.
Fuck
Sometimes
that
that cat be pissing everybody off.
He's a fat asshole. And I'm not. That's not a. I'm not being mean to him. He really is just fat as shit. Like he's a 20 plus pound cat.
It is this white cat.
Why's he gotta be white?
That's
Because
what I
he
wanted
is.
to
He's
ask
just
Brandon.
a big white fucking cat.
It's a fat white cat that runs around here and thinks he owns all this shit. Like, we are guest stars in his show.
Oh, right on.
That's how
I like
the
If
cat
you
act.
go by hair distribution, he does own everything.
Bro, okay. This
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He
Yeah.
fucks this couch up.
Yeah.
Bro, you don't even know how much hair.
See, and I
you-
vacuumed all of the, I vacuumed the whole couch. I vacuumed all of those pillows. His hair's still in them.
Wait till you
Can't
see
get it
this arm. Your
Oh,
arm
no,
on
I
this
already
side,
saw
bro.
it.
It's just like he kills this house. That's why I have to wear ugly gray sweatshirts over here because I know what's going to happen when I sit on this couch. Brandon used to put sheets down before we came here. We don't even fight it anymore. It's just
Yeah,
like,
that's why when I saw it, I was like, nah, I don't even really care.
Yeah. And when we get
doesn't
outside,
bug
just
me.
do like I'm going to do. Take it
Man,
off and flap
those-
it out.
So the sheets that were on here, I washed them recently, and I went. You know how you go and get the lint out of the lint trap?
Mm-hmm.
I literally pulled an entire cat out of there.
Out
It
of
was,
the lint trap.
It was 2 inches thick of cat hair.
And his name is Fatty.
His name is Fatty.
I love it. Why don't you just shave him?
He used to be like 45, 46 pounds, somewhere in there.
Holy.
This was like 6 or 7 years ago. He was a rescue cat. A friend of mine.
Well, what the fuck did you rescue him from? If he's
Popeyes.
47 pounds, good God.
This cat was.
What
he
side
had
of town did you
congestive
pick him
heart
up
failure
on?
and lived at a Popeyes. They rescued him.
So I didn't even get the cat. My friend Jasmine got the cat. So her and her boyfriend adopted him, and he was like 19, 20 pounds. He wasn't that big when they first got him. Then they broke up, and he took the cat. And after he took the cat, he just like there was a tray of food that was like a trash can lid that was just full of food, and he could just eat whenever he wanted to. So that's all he did was move from the couch to the food dish and then back again and never go anywhere. There was just like a big circle of hair on the fucking couch, which is where he was laying at. So he just ballooned up to like 40, 46, 47 pounds, something like that.
This cat was the fucking like Marlon Brando of cats. It was just this big. He didn't even meow. He'd be meow. He was like, what the fuck is wrong with that cat?
So
Meow.
So he decides he's gonna go into the military or some shit. So Jazz is like, "Give me the fucking cat." So she gets the cat back. He starts losing weight finally, and then eventually she decides she's gonna move to Louisiana. She can't take the cat with her, so I took the cat. That's why I have the cat now. And I've had him on a diet for like 3 years, and he's never gotten below the weight he's at right now. But he does have a lot of flappy skin, like underneath his arms. There's like you can just grab the skin and pull it out because he's just got extra cat everywhere.
Dude,
That's how my old roommate's cat was. You see her run down the hall, and her whole body would just side to side.
yeah, this cat is fat, and he's so cool. Like one day, Brandon, I think you were running Jenny to go see that Harry Potter film thing.
Yeah.
And I stayed here at the apartment. Me and the cat just hung out, and I think I was playing something on my Vita while they were gone. But the cat just sat there and just kind of looked at me every now and then, and he was like, meow. And then I was like, wow, that cat really meows really cool. And then he'd walk off, and I'd be like, I really should just follow this damn cat and see what he's getting into. And like he comes up and he just wants you to pet him a little bit, and I'd be like, go away. Like I'd rub his head, but then I'd be saying things like, you're so cute, go away, leave me alone so I can play this game. And he would walk away, and I went, Brandon must say that to this cat a lot. He seems to understand what the words go away means. I was like, that cat's creepy and cool at the same time, man. I love him, but he's fat.
He's very smart. He won't go in the kitchen. You know how most cats are just like, no, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Mm-hmm. He won't go in the kitchen unless he's like super hungry and I'm in there, and then he loses his fat little mind and goes in there, and then I chase him out. But for the most part, he won't go in the kitchen. He won't go in the bathroom unless he's like scared or something. He just hangs out here. The only thing he does that pisses me off is when he goes in my room when the door's open. I'm just get the fuck out of my room. Get out. Just get out of my room. Because if he goes in there,
owns this house.
If he goes in there and he sleeps on my bed, I'm just sleeping in cat hair for the rest of the fucking time that I have those sheets on there.
You see that chair over there?
That's his chair.
That chair is his chair. No human being has ever sat in that fucking chair since I started coming here to do this podcast. For the last couple months, I've been doing this podcast here. No. The only thing I've ever seen in that chair is that cat.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even aware that was green. That's a green sofa, but it was so freaking white on that pillow. I thought, wow, that's a cute white pillow. Until one day I realized that is his hair on that pillow. That is that cat's chair, and that's his pillow, and you don't sit on it.
I like his cone.
Yeah.
He did have a cone for a while.
Yeah, he had to have a cone for a while. He had a hot spot on his back that he just wouldn't stop gnawing on.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, that was where somebody dropped red beans or rice on him, and he just ate at it. Fat cat. Oh, man. Have you heard anything else about these guys, man? Are they saying anything about whether this is going to court? All I know is that there was a motion filed with the Superior Court of Quebec demanding that the procedure be declared invalid, and that they're trying to seek damages against the AMF for the charges.
Oh, no, I haven't heard anything since the initial news article came out.
All right, cool. Now, hit me up. This is up your alley. AMD Zen 8 core chip to cost $300. The performance on par with Intel Core 5960X.
So AMD's been working on this architecture that's called Zen now for like the past 7 or 8 years. They haven't put out new chips in a really long time, at least not new architecture chips. Mm-hmm. They put out some redesigns of some older chips, and that's about it. They've essentially been like no competition whatsoever for Intel. Mm-hmm. And that's why the prices on processors on the Intel side of things has swelled so bad. So we have like a 6-core processor that's $600, and an 8-core processor that's $800, and then a 10-core processor that's $1,700 for the desktop side of things. Yeah, I don't know how that math works out either. Just...
Yeah, no, I was just liking kind of where you were going with that. Then.
So AMD's finally getting their shit together, and they're going to put out Zen, and supposedly, hopefully, it's going to be like January or at least first quarter of 2017. The first chips that they've made are 8-core, 16-thread processors. So that's on core with the 5960X, which is
and this is like 8 physical cores and 16 CPU threads.
Yeah, that's 8 cores, 16
for $300.
For $300. So right now, the stuff that they've shown off is not exactly technically impressive, because right now the Zen processor is only clocking at 2.23 gigahertz, and the 5960X, they underclocked it down to 2.3 gigahertz so that they were on equal footing. And then they threw a Blender test at it, which was an older version of Blender. They didn't give anybody specifics on the actual test itself. They just said, look, when we run this test, ours finishes first. So it could be that Zen is going to be amazing, and for $300 you're going to get an 8-core chip, which is going to blow the doors off, or at least be very close in performance to some of the higher-end processors from Intel. Or it could all just be smoke and mirrors at the moment, and they're going to release another disappointing product and piss everybody off.
Man, okay, answer this for me. 8-core chip comes out.
Yeah.
$300.
Yeah.
Let's say it's amazing.
Yeah.
How big of a shakeup will this be for NVIDIA?
Or not NVIDIA, it would be Intel.
For Intel.
It would basically force them to lower the prices on their chips.
They'd have to compete.
Yeah. And that means that your traditional 4-core processors that are going for about $300 or $400 are going to drop probably to under $100, and your 6-core processors are going to be about $200, and then your 8-core processors are going to be about $300, maybe $350. Intel is always going to charge like a little bit of a markup
for their name.
So if that chip debuts at $299, I would expect a competing chip with the same amount of cores and threads to come from Intel. That would be about $350, maybe $325.
Still a big difference, though.
Yeah, it's a big difference, and then that would also force them. I mean, Intel could also go the other way, and they could just say, okay, 8-core processors, that's the new norm, and then put out the 10-core processor that they've got for $1,700 for dramatically cheaper, like $400, and then you can have more cores for a little bit of extra money, and then they could put out something like 12-core, 16-core, 24-core. Like they could put out, because both Intel and AMD are going to have chips that are going to be able to scale up to 32 cores and 64 threads. Like Intel already has that out. Mm-hmm. And AMD supposedly, like Zen was architectured so that it could be 32 core, 64 thread.
What do people need that for?
Servers. Google needs those. Japan right now is trying to build I think it was like 192 petaflop server so that they could have the fastest server in the world. Mainly so they can, throw the middle finger at China because they don't like China. Because it's Japan. But yeah, those kinds of servers, those applications, like imagine how many, if you took a system with that many cores on it and then you virtualized a whole bunch of operating systems on it, how many server instances of Battlefield 1 could you run on it? That's what those are for.
Okay, cool. Interesting. We will have to definitely keep tracking this. And it should be, next month?
Supposedly.
sometime in
January.
January 2017 we should see something?
I think in January we're probably going to see an announcement, and chips are probably going to start going out to reviewers so that they can get reviews up. And then I think a little bit later in the first quarter they're probably going to actually release the chips for purchase, because right now nobody has these chips on hand to do any kind of testing with them.
Right.
So
We should see something soon. Keep us posted, man. Keep us posted. I know you've been tracking this like crazy.
I mean, if I could get an 8-core processor for $300, I would stick with my Intel machine that I've got now, but I would definitely turn that into something like a home server, like a Plex server or something like that.
This?
Yeah.
And then build another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
My main concern with the AMD Zen is that, like, for the first at least 6 months or so, there's going to be no third-party boards because nobody's gotten any information out of AMD about it. So like Asus and MSI and all the other motherboard manufacturers, they don't have the chips, so they can't make motherboards for it. So the only motherboards that are going to come out right when it comes out are ones that AMD has built as reference designs. And nobody wants to buy a fucking reference board because they're always cheaply made and shitty. So even if it does come out in January, I don't think that it's going to be viable to build the system until midsummer at the very least.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely be tracking this one. I got a story for you. Only reason I'm doing this story is because it's about the Nintendo Switch, and the thing about it was you said something and it shook me to my core. Brandon and I are sitting there talking, and Brandon said, I actually looked at purchasing a Nintendo Switch when it comes out. And I was like, Brandon, are you aware that that's a console? And it was only for like, a few minutes. He really thought about it, and then you said, I really wouldn't use it. Really wouldn't be worth it. But the fact that the Switch made him even consider it for 10 minutes.
Well, the Switch is I've already owned a Nintendo Switch.
And it was called an NVIDIA Shield.
Yeah. The NVIDIA Shield tablet is essentially a Nintendo Switch, except the difference is that the guts inside of the Nintendo Switch are going to be faster, and the controller is going to attach to the sides of the screen instead of being just a controller by itself.
Right.
But other than that, it's just an NVIDIA Shield tablet. It's like all the software that's on it is being made by NVIDIA. Mm-hmm. All the back end, like everything, including, the manufacturer of the device is probably all going to be done by NVIDIA. Nice.
Okay. So here's our thing. Toys R Us in Canada website may have leaked the price for this thing. So what it did is, you know how Toys R Us, before they do their big Black Friday sale, they start sending out the Toy Wish catalog every year. They mail it out. You can pick it up in stores, but they also put it on their website. The store in Canada had it leaked for about 2 hours on the website, as coming soon, and they had the price at $329.99 Canadian, which, if you figure that out, roughly, doing the math right now, I think that's about $250. Roughly be about $249.99 in the U.S.
Yeah.
Not a bad starting price for a system.
Wasn't that what the price of the Wii was, though, when it came out? If I remember right, wasn't it?
I think the Wii U started at $299 and dropped to $249. Am I right on that?
I think so.
I think it started at $300, but then when the Xbox One and the PS4 came out and they were $300, they dropped down. Mm-hmm. They could not sell for $300 competing against those. No. Then I think the PS4 went to $249. I know the Xbox one of them, they're all cheaper somewhere. I mean, that was my thing when I started looking at it. I just kept going, that's $250 to get a Switch. Not a bad price. Personally, I don't know where we're going with that system. So, all right. So, I mean, what do you think? Do you think that's a great starting price? What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, for what they're going to shove in it's going to be good. It seems like it's going to be subsidied a little bit by Nintendo and NVIDIA just so that people will actually buy it. Because the original Shield tablet came out at $399, and then a non-LTE version of it came out a little bit later at $299. So, and that's prices from a couple of years ago. So either either NVIDIA has figured out a way to make their chips cheaper or to manufacture them cheaper, or they're subsidizing it, which happens with consoles all the time. That's the reason why people are like, oh, for $299 or whatever, they got this console and it does all this stuff. Well, the real price of that console is much higher than the actual cost that you purchased it at. They're just lowering the price on it because they're locking you into paying monthly to get on the fucking internet and then to pay literally full price for every video game you ever buy because there's never any sales that are proper actual sales. So like you're always going to pay $59, $49, or $39 for a console game, like every single time. So they're going to make their money back on selling you the software at higher prices than they sold you the console at. So instead of like with PC, the console is all up front. You pay for the system, you pay for the hardware that you get, and you pay full price for it. But when you buy games, you buy them at much lower prices. Like right now on Steam, I can go and buy a game for like $2. Mm-hmm. I don't think that there's ever been a point in time on the PlayStation or the Xbox where you could go on and buy a console game for like $2 or $3.
It depends if you're buying digital. You won't find it. This is where console games... Okay, we can say this. Based on what I've seen so far, it's really weird. For the longest time, I always thought it was shitty to try to charge me a full $60 for a digital game. Mm-hmm. Even when I was on Steam. Don't charge me 60 fucking bucks for a digital game. You're not paying for marketing for this game. There's no packaging. There's no cost. Like, for years, consoles would always say, hey, well, when you buy the console game, you're paying for that case. You're paying for the printing of the paper in that case. You're paying for the booklets and instruction manuals that go in there and for us to get those binded and stapled. And I was like, maybe. But when's the last time you've seen a fucking instruction manual in a console game? It's been years. They don't do them anymore.
Yeah, they don't do them for PC games.
Yeah, all your instruction manuals are online now. So I'm almost willing to say since 2006, most fucking games don't come with instruction manuals most times.
I mean, if you're buying physical media games, you're essentially paying for the privilege to kill the earth. That's all it really boils down to.
I mean, really, because we're just looking at plastic and what you did.
Plastic, shipping, like all the fucking fuel that it's going to cost to get the game from wherever it's manufactured at to get it to you. Like most games are probably manufactured outside the country and then shipped in. And then once they get here, they're fucking trucked across the country. All of that adds to the cost of the fucking game.
Yeah, and you're paying for the hours. I mean, because here's the thing. The gas company is going to charge the shipping company. The shipping company is going to charge the manufacturers. The manufacturers are going to pass those savings on to you, the consumer. All right, that's just how it works in a free enterprise system. So my thing was, I used to get pissed, about digital games. And then one day, due to Steam just saying, hey, we're putting shit on sale. And I was like, hey, man, this game has been out a while. And it's still, there were games that would be on 360 that would hold their price forever. Gears of War was a good example. Call of Duties are a great example of games that'll hold their price forever. And then all of a sudden, digital versions start getting cheaper. And when it got cheaper to buy the digital, I bought a lot of digital. Even though that was the thing that in the U.S., most U.S. gamers, the reason that we didn't have digital come here earlier, you guys may not remember this, the PSP Go was a great system here. Sony did a system that was a handheld that was all digital. You could put a memory card in it. You could get the memory card as large as you wanted it, but all the games were digital. There were no physical copies of games that you bought. And they started dropping the price for those games in their marketplace since you were going to buy digital.
And that's what Microsoft wanted to do with the Xbox One, and everybody got fucking pissed off about it.
Sony
and
did this before the Xbox One, and here's what happened. The American consumer bitched, and it was one of the poorest selling systems. I want the physical copies. And that was the thing. Sony was like, we gave you cheaper games, all digital, and here's what happened. The system kicked ass in Japan. It kicked ass in European markets. It died a horrible, miserable freaking death here. And I never understood the American consumer. For
some reason, people in America think that they need to have the physical copy so that later on they can go and trade it in so they can buy something else.
Even me as a collector, I like having physical copies as a collector, but still, it hadn't stopped me from getting a digital copy of a game. If I really, really, really wanted that game, I'll take a digital copy if it's cheaper.
I don't ever want to have to buy physical media. I even hate it when, at work, when I have to buy something from the store to put it onto my own account and I get a little fucking piece of paper with the number on it. Just, why do I even need that? Just, attach the sale prices that we would get as internally as employees to our accounts and then just flag our accounts so that they're employee accounts and then just allow us to buy it directly through Origin.
Thank you.
Like, why are we even going over and buying a physical fucking piece of paper that we're running out of, so we have to wait for more to fucking come in? Like, I can't stand buying things that are fucking non-digital.
Do you know
when
my
when
entire
it comes to
PC
games.
collection except for Sims 4 I got as a gift from work for winning something, and then
Yeah.
they gave me that one, and it was a card. It was literally a freaking credit card, plastic piece of plastic with my number for Sims 4 on it, and I added it to my account. Titanfall, I got the case,
And the
unwrapped
case
it,
is empty, and it has a fucking code in it.
and there was a code inside this case for Titanfall, the first one. And I was like, I really just spent money to get... And I know it was a gift. It was a gift, too.
Yeah.
But it was in the plastic, took it out the plastic, get it home. It is a freaking code inside of this giant-ass DVD box.
Why don't they just email it to you guys? I mean, email does exist nowadays.
I just, like, I don't understand it. And that's the reason why Xbox is losing the console battle right now, is because they announced that they were going to just do a digital-only console, and everybody freaked the fuck out. And Sony was like, we're going to make it so that you can buy physical media. And everybody was like, yay, Sony. And everybody just started sucking Sony off.
That really... Here's the thing. But if people like me, which one day I'm going to make this title legitimate video game historian, because I owned the PSP Go. I kept a PSP Go for years. You remember when I bought it.
Yes, I do.
And it was one of the weirdest things was that I had this PSP Go. I committed to it early. The whole idea, and I'm an old school guy. I like having physical media. You know, like I was one of the guys that took forever to get away from buying CDs and vinyl to actually go to, buying digital copies of my music.
See, and that's the thing, though, is like there's a reason to own vinyl versus owning a CD. Because vinyl actually has better sound quality than CDs do, and than digital does, technically. If you're an audiophile and you have vinyl and you have the right amplifier and the right headphones, whatever, there is a reason. But there is no fucking reason that physical media has no bearing on the quality of the game itself. You don't need physical media. You can buy it digitally. And if you buy it digitally, the first time that you download it, you don't have to download patches, because the version that you're going to download right when you buy it is going to be the patched version of the fucking game already.
Exactly.
Because all the fuck... And that's
And
the other
every
thing
time you uninstall it and reinstall it, you reinstall the latest version with all the patches in it.
Yeah.
But
And this is the thing that a lot of the times that consoles used to be about convenience. I could buy the console, I could put the disc in, and I could immediately begin playing my game. That was why Nintendo didn't switch away from cartridges for so fucking long, because they didn't like CDs, because it took so long for them to load up. Mm-hmm. And now we're to the point where literally your console, your PlayStation 4, your Xbox One, your PlayStation Pro, they're just a PC with a very tiny hard drive in it that you have to physically install all of your games to play them off of. And it takes for fucking ever to install. And then once it's installed, it takes for fucking ever to update, because your CD or your Blu-ray or disc or whatever the fuck you want to call it doesn't have the patches on it. Because after you install it, you've got to install the fucking patches. And you got to wait for that shit to happen. And then, so all of the convenience and all the reason why a lot of people love consoles just doesn't even fucking matter anymore. It's like, I went over to Max's house. This was a long time ago. Went over to Max's house. He had like a little house party get together thing. Mm-hmm. They were like, "Oh, let's load up the PlayStation and let's play some games." Load up the PlayStation. Had to wait for fucking 45 minutes for it to update itself before we could actually do anything with the console. And I was like, so this is the convenience of console gaming. I get to sit in my fucking chair and wait for the console to fucking do something. Mm-hmm. Hooray! Mm-hmm. Hooray!
But here's the thing. I think my kids' generation is the first generation where I notice they don't give a shit about physical copies. Mm-hmm. Your generation, even, I think you're much younger than me.
I honestly can say the only digital copies of anything I've bought were backwards compatibility games off PlayStation Network, like Spec Ops and Command & Conquer. That's about the only thing. Everything else I've always owned physical copies.
Yeah.
Everything. And it's
what about music?
We won't go there because I can get arrested for all that. But
okay.
Anyways,
music and films, we will just say this generation, the younger generation than me, they have no problem not having a physical copy of it. Now, I think the thing that got me more toward digital copies was I have a Vudu library. And because, I bought a physical copy of a movie, they gave me a digital copy. Mm-hmm. And then I have kids. So that means I had thieves that lived with me. And a lot of my physical copies somehow became their physical copies and went to their house, and I had to go back to their house and take my shit back. And like, I will kill you. Just because we're related does not mean I will not kill you. Give me my movie back. And so a lot of times you just get tired of fighting with them, and you just go, you know what, fuck it, I got the digital copy, and I'll just open up the Voodoo library and watch this movie. It's not like I need that physical copy. You know? And a lot of times I've installed the damn things onto a device, whether my PlayStation or something. I've installed the movie somewhere where I can just queue it up and it's done. The Black Dynamite is a movie, though, that I own it on Blu-ray, and I own the digital version of it. I seriously have that movie everywhere because it was on my PSP Go.
Yeah.
I bought a digital version of Black Dynamite because I needed to be on a flight and be able to go, Dynamite, Dynamite, and be a bad Stone Cold son of a bitch. So I needed that movie in my life everywhere I went. I wanted to be able to go sit on the toilet.
Who's interrupting my kung fu?
I threw that shit before I walked in the room. Man. Do not get with Brandon and I on this movie because we will quote the shit out of that movie to you. And it's a long movie to watch with Brandon and I. Okay. But yeah, I got more into digital because I started doing movies that way, man, and getting these digital copies. Hell, I bought a movie the other day, a Christmas gift for my wife, and I bought it at Walmart. And then I do that Walmart app where you can scan your receipts, right?
She's gonna listen to this and be like, "You son of a bitch."
Yeah, I bought a movie for Christmas, scanned the receipt through my Walmart app, and then it gave me, "Hey, Mr. McDaniel, here's your digital copy of that movie." They sent it to my email, and I was like, well, shit, I got to hold on to this code, and I can't throw it in the Voodoo library or she's going to know what she got for Christmas. But they gave me a digital copy of the movie I bought her. So I was just like, this is crazy. This is insane, but it happens. So definitely something to think about, man. I'm feeling it. We got to get up out of here. It was great having you. Reid, what's going on with you, man? Any new things going on with the movies, life? You still out there airsofting it up?
I am. I've missed a couple events due to work that I really wanted to go to, so that kind of put a damper on things. But
still working on the documentary life, though?
Slowly, yeah.
Slowly.
Progress. Yeah, it's kind of what sucks when you don't have full time to dedicate to it. But I have bills to pay. I'd rather pay those. Yeah,
man, that whole thing about I've gotten used to eating and having a roof over my head really has taken a hit to some of my extracurricular, but I understand. Yeah. Brandon, now that the house is in working order, kitchen's not exploded, cat's still fat, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
All right, nothing planned, nothing major coming up?
No.
All right, so cool.
I mean, just, the work stuff.
Just doing the work thing.
And then the whatever it is. Oh, yeah, that's right. I got Jim Jeffries on the 8th. I'm going to Jim Jeffries.
Coming to Austin?
Yeah.
Comedian Jim Jeffries.
Yes, Jim Jeffries.
Shock comedian Jim Jeffries.
Jim Jeffries, yes.
Is coming to Austin.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
On the 8th.
Of December.
Yep.
All right, cool. I will announce it now. Guys, I'm getting out of here December 10th through December 19th. We will need to do a bunch of shows somewhere before I leave. I will be gone for 9 days. There is a chance if you are in the Amarillo area, I will be there. I'm not going to tell you when I'm going to enter you. I want it to be a surprise like prom. I'm just going to be there. I'm going to Amarillo. I'm going back home. I have not been to Amarillo since February of 2015. And last time I was there, I may have caused a promoter and his girlfriend to break up.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it was a great show. I'll have to tell you that story one day, but not on this show.
I think I was there, actually, because I was there last time here. I'm trying to remember what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I flamed the chick. So, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a comedian. Everybody knows I do stand-up comedy. And in the years of doing stand-up comedy, I've learned how to flame hecklers. Now, I've seen hecklers want to commit suicide after I flamed them. And I decided, hey, maybe I'm not going to flame people this hard. But she stepped into the line of fire and would not take the first warning to cut it out. And I flamed her. And I flamed her so bad that the promoter who booked me, this was his girlfriend. And I flamed her so bad she broke up with him because he did not defend her. There was no defense for her. And I did it in a prayer.
We're going to...
Yep. Greatest.
We're going to do this next time on Dragon Ball Z?
We should. I'll tell this story one day. But I can tell you this. I made a couple break up with a prayer.
Like
which
Moses
lets me know that God is real and prayer does work. All right, everybody. We are out of here, man. I've had fun. I got Cottonee to go pick. Keep it real. Be kind to one another. Bye. Thanks for listening to the Team Lift Podcast with your hosts, Brendan Bowie and Roderick McDaniel. Join us again next week as we discuss more topics from geek culture. Be sure to follow us on our Twitter page @GoTeamLift, as well as our personal pages @CoachSilky and @ThighSide. You can direct questions and comments to us on our Twitter page, as well as find links to all of our social media outlets. Thank you for listening. See you again next week.